DOT to loosen flight caps at 40 airports as air traffic controllers return. The federal shutdown is winding down, but the ripple effects on air travel remain. The Department of Transportation announced on Tuesday that it will start relaxing flight restriction limits at 40 of the nation's busiest airports, provided safety metrics continue to improve. The easing hinges on the return of air traffic controllers who have been working without pay during the shutdown. Sean Duffy, the Transportation Secretary, reported a noticeable uptick in controller attendance at Chicago O'Hare, noting that staffing triggers dropped from 81 on Saturday to 53 on Sunday. He emphasized that any further loosening will be data-driven and only occur when the FAA's safety indicators show a positive trend. Controllers are slated to receive 70% of their back pay within 2 days of the government's reopening, with the remainder to follow within a week, a move meant to incentivize a swift return. While the DOT stresses that the current flight cuts are temporary and based on FAA safety recommendations, it has not disclosed exactly how many of the agency's 13,000-plus controllers missed work during the 40-plus days of the funding lapse. The FAA's emergency order, which initially cut 4% of scheduled domestic flights, will incrementally rise to 6%, then 8%, and finally 10% by Friday. Airline groups say the disruptions will not vanish overnight. Even after funding is restored, airlines will need time to restore full schedules. Industry sources caution that the FAA order will stay in place until the system's stress levels are demonstrably lower. As of Tuesday afternoon, roughly 1,200 flights had been cancelled across the United States, with Chicago O'Hare, LaGuardia, and Atlanta bearing the brunt. Aviation analytics firm Cirium notes that midweek travel is traditionally lighter, which may mitigate some of the inconvenience. Major carriers including Delta, Southwest, United and American have already completed their FAA-mandated cancellations for the week. A coalition of aviation groups is urging Congress to pass a fiscal 2026 appropriations bill for the DOT, while warning that without a clear funding path, airlines could be forced to ground planes. In short, as controllers gradually return and back pay is dispersed, the DOT expects to lift flight caps, but the timeline will remain tied to safety data and the full reopening of the federal government.